Hi everybody, it's Lauretta with Sparrowhawker Designs. Welcome back to my channel. So this is my old camera because my new one is wonderful, but it needs a special mount, and I don't have it yet. So I am gonna still try to use my old camera. So which isn't too bad if I'm looking through the lens, because then I know when it shuts off. But if you're doing a tutorial, you don't know when it shuts off, and it's a pain in the butt. So anyway, I do have a new camera, but this one I'm going to have to film on the old one, so I hope it looks okay. Anyway, so this is a journal that I've been commissioned to make for a poet, and she likes the skulls with flowers, and she's not a very girly girl. She's not really into like laces and, trims and that kind of thing. So I tried to keep it to a minimum. And I also, when I did use laces and trim, I tried to make sure they were kind of grungy looking. So maybe that will help cut down on the girliness. That's my hope anyway. It's pretty big size. It's I think that spine is 3.5 inches, 3 inches, and it's 3 signatures. I just used a ticking fabric. It's kind of a tan ticking fabric, and some corrugated cardboard and the laces. And then this is an image. Now, this was part of my problem with this journal, is that there are not a whole lot of copyright-free images out there of skeletons and skulls with flowers. I think I found two sheets of stuff that I could actually use. So this is actually, I had my husband, I'm like, you got to draw me something. He is also, he's an art major, so he drew me the skull, and there's another one inside that he drew, and then this one I added actual physical flowers to. The others that are inside the journal, I went in and added flowers digitally. And I asked about colors, and she said that, she didn't really know if she had a favorite color, but she definitely liked the neutrals of light gray and tan and some yellow and that kind of thing. So I tried to use some yellow throughout the book, and yeah, so anyway, let's see if I can get this going. I didn't add any laces or trims around any of this. I just kind of left it raw looking. And this is one of those Girl Scout cups. And then she can just fill this out when she gets it. She wanted a lot of writing space in here because she is a poet, and she's hoping she'll use it, to write in more than anything else. So this first page is a pocket. And this says it takes all of their energy to keep from hitting rock bottom, and she's talking about the hummingbird, and so this is a quote from one of her poems. I put I think it was like three quotes in here that are from her poems. So because she did do a poem about a hummingbird, I tried to put some hummingbird images in here. But it's mostly writing spaces. Here's a belly band with a guest check and one of these little cards. Lao Tzu. Your own positive future begins in this moment. All you have is right now. Every goal is possible from here. And this is, you would think that this was rust, but it's not. It's just coffee and turmeric. So here's a little bauble there. There's a tag and some paper. And I was able to find this one on the internet. Oh, actually it was off of Etsy. Just a bunch of writing space. So I used some of my turmeric paper. And then in here, this is really cute. You pull this out, and I put this little sunbather in there from the 1920s. I don't know if you can see it or not. I just thought she was so cute. And I thought, what a neat surprise, to have something like that in there. And then Here's this is one of my pictures of this old tree from, I want to say it was 19, I can't remember, early 1900s. So the other thing too is there are a lot of tree images in here, 'cause she does do a poem about a tree. A ruffle with a little doodad. And so this is the same image that's on the front, only I went into my Corel paint shop and added the flowers. Oops. This is the center of the first signature. This is a digi-kit. I was able to find a digi-kit. Just one. And then here's a little tuck spot. Here's an envelope from the Graphics Fairy, I do believe. And then this, I just made this little thing a long time ago. More writing space. This is a coloring page. You pull it out. And you can color the whole thing. In here she can put photographs if she wants, or she can paperclip little notes in here. She can write on the back of this side. In here there's this awesome picture that's one of from my originals. I love how they're all wearing hats. Oh, the days when they all wore hats. Again, any of these blank pages are perfect to put in your own photographs, or paperclip in your own notes, or ticket stubs, memorabilia, whatever you want. It's like I said, it's mostly writing, actually, mostly writing space. This is from that digital kit that I managed to find. There's some stitching throughout, but not a lot. There we go. I was like, I knew that opened up. And then that's the first signature. Second signature starts off with a pocket. Both of these hold little tags. You can put ticket stubs in there, whatever you want. I sewed around it. This is also a pocket here. Got this little bangle here. I think that's jade. That was off. I lost the other. They were earrings, and I lost one of them. So that's what I do with my lost and broken jewelry. I add them to my journals. Love this. This is from Medieval Mirage. Put in a heart doily. And then this says, "You are a tree in a forest that is not your own," which is one of her poems. And then down here in this little pocket, I've got this little tiny envelope. And then this opens up, and it's one of my rusted paper clips. And yeah, so I stenciled this paper. Sorry, it's my phone. This actually came out of a kid's book. It's called The Wrong House, and it's really a fabulous little poem. And I love the juxtaposition here of sort of, this proper romantic Renoir lady with, inside is the skulls, or the skeleton. I really liked that. Yeah, this was definitely a challenge. It's especially anytime anybody tells me, "Oh, they're not frilly," then I'm like, okay, I gotta hold back. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. That's a famous one. The lark awakened visions of endless hopes. This is from a kid's book as well, and this is one of my. I have a cutter quilt that I have cut into hearts and birds and shapes and stuff. This is one of the pieces off of that. I made it into a paper clip, and I just embroidered the edges and added a little sari silk and some crochet and a button. Yeah, these are the cutter pieces that I've been selling in my Etsy store. And then that opens up. Getting these back on while you're trying to film is impossible, so I won't. This is the tree on the corner. This opens up. There's nothing in there. She can do whatever she wants. It says, I've seen the tree on the corner in spring bud and summer green. Yesterday it was yellow gold. Then a cold wind began to blow. Now I know you really do not see a tree until you see its bones, which is my favorite. I love what I call naked trees. I think they're so beautiful. And then that's just a tuck spot there. I did some stenciling. The other half of that heart. So I did use some digi-kits, like at the skeleton one. A lot of this is just my own paper. Some stuff like this came from Medieval Mirage. This is also a digi-kit. So there's a couple of different things in here. Here's an old piece of crocheted lace trim, and then I put a rusty paper clip on here with this little thingy. I love this. The best journeys are not always in straight lines. And it's these, I don't know if you can see it, it's these 4 ladies, and they're all kind of sleeping. And I just thought that was so cute, and that's an envelope. This is one of my husband's drawings that he did for me, and then I went into my paint shop and added the flowers. I also added a hummingbird and a butterfly. And then I stamped it up, and then I just put it on this piece of paper. And then that's a pocket. So, like I said, I could find, like the digi-kits that I did find that was skeletons were all human. I couldn't find any animal skeleton digi-kits, so that's why I had my husband draw the animal ones. Some journaling cards. So, in case she watches this video, you can journal on the back of any of these cards as well, or maybe write a poem. It says, to build a plentiful garden of thoughts that seem worth something. That's from one of her poems as well. And here's a poem called Hymn to the Winds. It's written in 1550. It's from that book of French poetry that I have that's been translated. And, yeah. And I think the sunflower paper is my porch prints. And here's a pocket. And that's the end of the second signature. The third signature is just some of my paper. I made this ruffle, and then on the ruffle here, I don't know if you can see it, but I don't know if I can get this in here. It's a rusty screw with a bone bead. This is from Kenya, actually, and I think it's whatever their cow is. I'm not sure what species of cow they have over there. So anyway, there was a lady from Kenya at the last craft fair I went to that was selling bone beads, and so of course I bought some. Because why not, right? And here's a scribe writing. Like I said, mostly journaling. This opens up. Oh, I had this little rib cage stamp. Didn't realize I had it until I went looking for stuff for this book. Anyway, this folds out. This is my husband's drawing and my added flowers from my digital, from my paint shop. And then this says, stop leaving and you will arrive. Stop searching and you will see. Stop running away and you will be found. And then I love this old postcard I had of this house. This has got to be from the 20s or 30s. And then here's another cutter piece, cutter quilt piece that I embroidered around the edge, and then I did some embroidery in the middle. And then I took a really old piece of fabric that I had colored with turmeric and put some little safety pins on it. And I turned it into a paperclip. This is from the digi-kit I bought. The only one I could find. There's a little peacock card in this tree. A little fabric there. This is Medieval Mirage. I did that paper with some ink. I sprayed ink on it and then baked it. You gotta be careful with that though, because you do get some fumes. um, I love this picture. This is from my private collection of this group of friends all just kind of hanging out in the backyard, you know, and you could tell, I think those are peonies that are blooming, so it's probably May if you're in the US. And then a hummingbird. Yeah, I just love that. I thought that was so cute. And then that little piece of trim here. This is the middle of the third signature. Oh, I forgot to show you the dangles, but that's okay. And then here's a tuck spot. There's just some journaling paper, and then one more of these cards. When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. And that's on dictionary paper. And these are just some Tim Holtz paper dolls, and then I made the butterflies. I ran it through my Sizzix. And then this opens up. There's nothing in there. Another hummingbird card. Some more trees. And here's the postcard. I love this tree paper. I used this in the Wicked journal as well. Only it was a lot more yellow, so I went in and I toned the color down on it. This is a pocket. This was the only other digital thing I could find, and in fact this was just they were little ATC cards. There was one sheet of like six or eight of them, and I went in and enlarged it so that I could get it on this page. There's a little bauble up here with some trim. Same thing, that was one of the ATC cards, and not only did I enlarge it, but I also there were words here that I didn't like, so I put flowers over them. This is a pocket. And that's the end. Down here says made by Sparrowhawker Designs, and I will probably put my card in here. And that's that. So, it was a ton of fun to make. I love making these journals. I love picking out the papers. I love deciding what I'm going to decorate with, etc., etc. And then, of course, when it comes time to sew in the signatures, then I'm like pulling my hair out and I'm going, ah! Because that's the hardest part for me. And that's sort of the moment of truth. And if you mess that up, you're like, oh my God. You know? So, anyway, I did have just a ton of fun with it, but I am concerned that she's not going to like it because I really could not find a whole lot of skeletal images. So I hope she likes it. Anyway, so yeah, I will talk to you guys later, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.